They say a cyber attack happens about every 39 seconds. It can make the digital world feel like you're walking through a minefield, right? Well, today we're going to give you the map and the armor. We're going to build up your digital shield so you can navigate your online life with a whole lot more confidence and a lot less fear. Okay, let's get into it. Come on, you know exactly the one I'm talking about. That email from your bank or maybe some service provider that makes your heart drop for a second. It's screaming at you to click a link right now. They are totally playing on your fear, creating this fake sense of urgency. And you know what? It's a classic trick, and it works way more often than you'd think. So let's take Anne, for example. She's in the middle of a busy day, trying to finish her report when an email pops up. It looks like it's from a shipping company about a package. Everything looked legit, the logo, even the tracking number seemed plausible. So she clicked, and in that one single moment, boom, a door she didn't even know existed was kicked wide open. Hackers suddenly had a direct path to her passwords, her financial info, everything. Her story is the perfect way to get into our first major threat. What happened to Anne has a name? It's a phishing attack. You can think of it like a digital con game. Attackers put on a disguise, pretending to be someone you trust, all to trick you into handing over the keys to your entire digital life. So the key takeaway here is this. They are preying on your trust and that frantic feeling of urgency they create. But phishing is just one character in a whole gallery of digital bad guys. And if you want to protect yourself, you really have to know who you're up against. So let's pull back the curtain and see what other threats are really lurking out there. Probably the most common villain you'll ever run into is malware. It's short for malicious software, of course. It's really just a catch-all term for any program that's designed to cause chaos. I'm talking about everything from spyware that secretly records your passwords to programs that lock up all your files and demand a ransom. Just think of it like a digital sickness that can infect your devices with just one careless click. Now, this is where it gets interesting, breaking down the different types. On one hand, you've got a virus. And it acts just like its biological namesake, right? It latches onto a clean file and then it just replicates itself, spreading from one program to the next. A Trojan horse, on the other hand, well, that's all about pure deception. It pretends to be something useful, maybe a game or a helpful tool. But once you let it in, it quietly creates a secret backdoor for hackers to sneak through anytime they want. Sneaky. And it's not always about stealing your personal data. Sometimes the whole point is just to cause chaos. And that's where a DDoS attack comes into play. Just imagine 1,000 people all trying to cram through a single doorway at the exact same time. What happens? The doorway gets jammed and nobody can get in. Well, that's basically what hackers do to websites. They just flood them with so much fake traffic that regular people like you and me get completely locked out. And to give you a sense of the scale here, look at this number. Over 230,000. That's how many computers got infected by the WannaCry crypto worm. And get this, that was in a single day. This wasn't just some minor inconvenience. It crippled hospitals in the UK, it shut down car factories in France, it spread to over 150 countries, demanding ransom money to unlock critical data. It was a massive wake-up call that these cyber attacks have very, very real-world consequences. Okay, that was the scary part, I promise. But you know what? Knowledge is power. And now it's time to build our defenses. The really good news is that protecting yourself doesn't mean you need a PhD in computer science. Let's look at some really simple but powerful steps you can take, like right now. Your absolute first line of defense is a firewall. And really, it works just like it sounds. It's like having a digital bouncer for your computer standing guard at the door to the internet. It checks every single piece of data trying to get in or out, and if anything looks suspicious or malicious, it gets rejected. It keeps the bad stuff out of your network. Simple as that. All right, next up, passwords. A weak password is basically leaving your front door wide open. A strong one, though, that's a fortress. So how do you make one you can actually remember? Try this trick. Think of a sentence you'll never forget, like, "My cat loves to eat tuna at 3 a.m." Now, just take the first letter of each word and sub in the numbers and symbols. You get MCLT3 at. It's long, it's complex, and it's so much easier to remember than just a random jumble of characters. And seriously, if you're still using password 123 for anything, please go change it right now. If a firewall is your bouncer, think of antivirus software as your computer's personal immune system. It's on guard 24/7, constantly scanning for threats. And when it spots a known virus or a Trojan, it swoops in, quarantines it, and gets rid of it, often before you even have a clue anything was wrong. Most modern computers and phones have great antivirus tools built right in. Just make sure yours is turned on and kept up to date. It is an absolutely crucial layer of your defense. So, here it is, your takeaway checklist. Super simple. First, enable that firewall. Second, use strong, unique passwords for every single account. Third, keep your antivirus running. Fourth, get skeptical about weird emails and links. And finally, always keep your software updated. Those updates aren't just for new features. They often contain critical security fixes for newly discovered problems. It's literally like patching a hole in your armor.
So we know the attacks and we know the defenses. But who are the people actually sitting behind the keyboard launching these things? Understanding what makes them tick is actually a huge part of understanding the whole world of cybersecurity.
You know, not all hackers are the villains in the story. On one side, sure, you have the black hats. These are the cybercriminals, the ones driven by money or just plain malice. But on the other side, you have white hats, also known as ethical hackers. These are the good guys. They get hired by companies to legally hack into their systems, find all the weak spots, and fix them before the bad guys can get there first. It's this constant, fascinating game of cat and mouse being played out online. And this quote just nails it perfectly. It all comes down to two simple things. Did they have permission, and what was their goal? One is trying to cause harm, and the other is working to protect and defend. It's the exact same skill set, just used for completely opposite reasons. Whew, we have covered a ton of ground, from phishing scams and malware to firewalls and the hackers themselves. But I want you to remember this. The single most important security tool isn't software you can install. It's you, your own awareness, your skepticism. That's the most powerful defense you will ever have. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What is your weakest digital link? For Anne, our example from the beginning, it was just clicking too fast when she felt rushed. For you, is it maybe reusing the same password everywhere? Or maybe it's that app on your phone you haven't updated in a year? Just figuring out what that weak link is, that is your very first step toward becoming the guardian of your own digital life.